New room, of course. Always a new room.
Oh, look at that! Right on. Look at this! Right at the start of the show. Look at that. Oh, Richard, we're live.
There he is.
We started, just so you know.
Apologies.
No need to apologize.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
You're very busy with all the things you have going on.
A lot of things.
Nice Bruins hat, too, by the way.
Thanks. The only team worth rooting for right now.
I'd say Celtics.
Yeah. What do you have against the Celtics?
Yeah, what Joe Mazzulla really got to you? You don't want to cheer for the green team?
And you can't make it on the court in Paris. What do I got to root for?
Know what they say.
Things are looking feeling down today. Has it been a long day? You see,
he's in all black.
Sad.
He's in all black, baby.
He's in all black. He's pouring himself a drink.
What do you pour yourself there?
What's that?
What are you pouring in there? We got the
apple juice.
Apple juice. Good for you. Good for you, Richard.
No added sugars. New room, Bobby?
Of course. I never do a show in the same room.
Looks
That's
great.
only for queers.
Looks great. Bobby, oh, right. It's not coming back, huh?
The stubble? No, not yet. It's there. Next
solid week's worth of growth.
Next week, though. Next week.
Very good. Very good. Speaking of very good, what do you say we start the show? The Semi Sports Show. All things New England sports. Latest and the greatest. Hold on. Let me pull up my handy dandy email. Let's do some opening takes as we always do. I have myself starting. I'll go ahead and kick it off. I'm more mad at myself this week than anybody else. I'm mad at myself for being aggravated by stupid people on the internet. I've learned this lesson over and over and over again to avoid the internet. I've done my best to delete all social medias and eliminate that. But from time to time, it creeps back in. And this was one of those weeks. And the Jaron Duran escapade and his stupid fucking anti-gay slur. It wasn't really the gay slur, the Duran thing. It was all of you stupid fucking people using it as a free speech rallying cry from your stupid computers and your stupid couches with your fat fucking guts, not understanding about what you're talking about. It's those people that got me all fired up. But again, I'm more mad at myself for allowing that to happen because those people are dumb and lazy and stupid and should just not pay attention to them. That should be the lesson learned here. Just not pay attention to the morons. And maybe it's a greater lesson for the rest of you out there, anybody listening. Don't pay attention to the morons online. That's what I'm aggravated. That's what's really grinding my gears this week. More myself. This is more of a me problem because all of you stupid fat fucking morons out there. It's more of a me problem. Raymond?
Thank you there, Richard. Matthew Judon got traded yesterday for a third-round pick to Atlanta Falcons. I think it's a little too late. I think they should have done this in April. If they knew they were going to resign the all-pro rusher, they should have just done it then so they could have got draft assets beforehand and actually made something of this season instead of waiting until next season for a 89th, 90th pick or whatever that's going to amount to with the Atlanta Falcons. So too little, too late, I think, for the New England Patriots on the Matthew Judon saga.
Bobby?
Well, I'm worried about the Patriots. I was a little trying to be optimistic, trying to be good, but I'll tell you what, things aren't looking pretty. Hoyer, Big Black Hoyer, our friend out there, not looking so great. I think we need to get somebody else in there. Throw in Drake May, throw in Milton. They're going to blow. Let one of them play. At least it'll be exciting. I cannot watch a repeat of last season where they don't score and it's a defensive slog.
Well, as the preseason game number 2 is ongoing, looks like Patriots and Drake May is actually on the verge of completing a touchdown drive here.
Let's pump the brakes. We just saw what Jacoby Brissett almost did on that touchdown drive. He threw a
first and goal, second goal from the 3-yard line. So, of course, we'll do some Patriots talk. Look, the Patriots suck. The reports out of their first combined practice with the Eagles this week was abysmal, death-defying, horrible. Choose whatever adjective you'd like. It was not great. Drake May certainly key amongst those reports, among other things, including the offensive line. So we'll do some Patriots talk. I want to go all the way back in hindsight of it always being right and me always being right about what they should have done in the first place, which is bearing out seemingly here in the preseason and training camp. So a lot of Patriots talk, of course, here as we move towards the season. A little Red Sox talk. We'll dive back into those free speech police, see what else they have to say. This or that with Chief Bobby and Simplest Minds of the Week. This is the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday rerun August 16th, live Thursday, August 15th. Welcome to the show. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
Vacation. I'm gonna quay all these. I'm gonna fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot. Every time I see that intro, I think maybe I should go back to the beard, back to the full Grizzly Adams look. You have many looks. Do you know what I? Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead. After watching the Patriots pregame, they showed Brian Hoyer. He looks a lot like Kyle. Like if you shaved Kyle's head bald, but didn't get rid of the ginger skin, maybe get a little Native American tone to him, he'd look just like Brian Hoyer.
Looks like Jacoby Brissett. What are you talking about?
That's the Big Black Hoyer and the Brian Hoyer is more play style. It's more of them numbing us to death through their boring, inadequate ability than obviously them looking alike. Although we don't see color on the show, nor do we do politics until later, talking about Jaron Duran, I guess. Beyond that, I don't see the Kyle. I don't see the "fuck you, Kyle" thing, right? But maybe I'll give it another look.
I don't know this Kyle guy, but he's probably ugly.
He's a good-looking fella. He's okay. Yeah, I think maybe I'll try and do the beard thing. It's just the levels. The levels to get to the full beard there's some rough ones. Ray, you're at stage like
you don't like the in-between beard.
Yeah, this is a rough stage.
I went like 3 or 4 days without shaving last week, like Thursday to Monday, and it was kind of in that not great. You have to make sure you're not seeing anyone for a while. Yeah, it's a tough thing to get away with that. Especially if you have to go to the office and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I need a good 6 weeks to really get into a confident beard. Generally, I do it every year though, so we'll see. Come October. Yeah, you'll just get to a point where you're just like, fuck it. Yeah. Especially wintertime, fall time. Yeah. Watching the Patriots.
Everybody must have that point with their growing a beard in winter, where there's the in-between beard season.
Yeah. How does your beard? Have you ever grown a full beard, Ryan?
He's been growing that since the 8th
grade. I have had a beard before. Yes.
Does it? Do you have the holes in your cheeks like it looks like right now?
I call bullshit.
They get filled in by the other places where it grows.
That's what I want to see.
Filled in when my dick grows.
I want to see Bobby. That's what you need to do.
There it is. He finally came back. It only took you 10 minutes to get into the show. Good for you. I'm glad that got you in.
If I get a Drake May touchdown here, we're gonna be in real high spirits. Are you guys locked into the show again this week? You're not watching the game?
I can't multitask.
Get that!
Suck my dick, Bedard. Suck my dick. You don't know a goddamn thing.
Keeper.
It was a QB keeper. Was it a bootleg?
Bootleg QB keeper.
No
AVP special.
Man, when Bobby said that,
they're winning the game. They're winning the game, baby.
Van Pelt is a fucking big boy.
Head coach. Group text message. Van Pelt looks like a cow.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The most accurate statement in the last year.
I call him like I see him.
Yeah, I wasn't going to throw you out there under the bus, but there you go. Well, this whole segment here, hello, darkness, my old friend, the Patriots are horrible. Look, Drake may have just turned that on his head with that cubic keeper bootleg against the third-team defense of the Eagles here in the second quarter. Beyond what we just saw, which was a nice play. Go back and look at it. Nicely schemed, blocked up pretty well. No defense whatsoever from the Eagles. But beyond that, what we saw dating back to, I'm going to take Tuesday because it's the most convenient, horrible stats that I have in front of me. This is from Phil Perry of NBC Boston. Out of 42-ish snaps on offense, they were sacked 15 times. They completed just 14 passes. There was one penalty for every 10 snaps. So basically 2 out of 3 snaps, something horribly was going wrong for the Patriots offense throughout the week here. And that was Tuesday, but look, the reports from Wednesday and beyond were not any better. It's not like they turned a corner or anything. Greg Bedard labeled the offensive performance, quote, an absolute train wreck, stating it made him question everything. Which I have a similar question about this, but a little bit more bigger scope later on in the segment that I'll get
when
to.
I wake up in the morning, just look at myself and I question everything.
In the morning or at night too?
I mean, throughout the day.
Right.
Mostly in the morning, though.
Just like, can I do another day of this?
Should I do another day of this?
Right. Right. Well, when it gets to could I do another day, that's when it gets serious. Call for help. Alex Van Pelt, labeled offensive head coach by his own head coach, Gerard Mayo. When asked about snap count for Drake May, they said, go ask AVP. He's the offensive head coach. Drake May looks 3 years away. Reporters are asking themselves and Patriots Nation if the Patriots flat out misevaluated Drake May when drafting 3rd overall, or if the team's just so horribly shitty around him that they can't evaluate him now, and nobody can because everybody blows. Christian Gonzalez can't cover a fucking part. So there you go. There's your negative.
I could catch a pass on Gonzalez. I'm pretty shifty.
At this point in time, that might be true. Bobby's confident.
As quick as I've ever been. I'm fast.
Bobby's very confident about it. The 3-point contest.
Fucking
everything.
Marcus.
I know that neither of you could guard me. I would get 15 for 200 and 5 touchdowns if one of you were guarding me.
We've got some real
Wow,
competition.
you're very confident. I like it.
He's got a Marcus Smart level of overconfidence going on. Confidence to talent ratio
Don't
is
you dare
way out of
compare
whack.
me to him.
All right,
Where do you want to start there, Vine? Mr. Confident, we're Mr. Cocky. We need to come up with a nickname for his arrogance. We'll get there. A couple more drinks, I'll come up with something. You want to start?
Certainly, yeah.
Yes, that's the word. That works.
You want to go offensive head coach Alex Van Pelt, not knowing what he's doing. Drake May. Start wherever you'd like, please.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to be evaluating Drake May, but based off of what's happened thus far. He seems fine when he's out there. He can clearly throw the ball. There are a lot of things that he can do. It was reported ahead of time that it was going to take some time for certain things to be in his development, and that's proven to be true. And every time he's been in 11-on-11s, he's getting blown up the middle with rushes in his face during these practices, which is reported. So that's not fair for him. And it isn't live, so he doesn't get to avoid the pass rush to make a play as he could in the game. We've seen he's looked halfway decent in this game so far. So I don't think he was misevaluated. I think it's too early. We knew he was going to need some time. The offensive line sucks, and it's going to be the downfall of the season. The defense looks fine.
Right?
This offensive line blows. They have no left tackle. They haven't addressed it. They still haven't addressed it. I was hoping for when they got rid of Judon, you'd actually get some compensation, like a left tackle. I believe they have a backup tackle in Atlanta. He's a 25-year-old kid from Colorado. I was just hoping for something, because what they're doing now is you're just trying to stick something on the wall and make it hope that they're going to be able to protect Big Black Hoyer. But it's not going to work. It's going to be a cesspool back there with bodies everywhere because this offensive line can't guard anyone. I could probably get a sack on Brian Hoyer this year, or Big Black Hoyer. Sorry.
We are really digging ourselves some holes with these.
No, I could do
personal goals and predictions here. Vidarian
I think I'm a better receiver than Ray as defensive end. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes,
see.
I'll agree with that. We don't have
Excellent. All right, continue, please. Sorry.
to. Vidarian Lowe, Vidarian Lowe is not going to cut it at left tackle. Sorry to tell you there. Look, here's what the whole thing spells out to me. Big question marks around the entire coaching staff, and you have to start with Gerard Mayo. And our next segment is talking about hindsight always being right, as I mentioned in the opening, and we can talk about the decisions up until now. But look, all the reports, it seems like everybody's too slow in camp. Alex Van Pelt doesn't really have a stronghold on the offense and what's going on. There's controversy between Mayo and Van Pelt already, between how Drake May is moving forward, how many snap counts he's getting, blah, 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 blah. Like, you're 3 or 4 weeks into this new regime. They never had a plan from the beginning. Like, they didn't have a plan from the beginning, and the repercussions that are now showing up on the field. And I feel like that's what we're seeing. So I'll dial it back to Drake May and the misevaluation. I don't think you call him misevaluated. They said as a number 3 pick, he would be a project, and they took him anyway as a number 3 pick. And then whoever set the standards and expectations for this kid to come in and compete for the starting job, Gerard Mayo, Coach Vibes, if he lights it up, he could be the starter. Whoever set those expectations, you're an idiot. Everybody that was forecasting this guy said he's probably at least a year out. His footwork sucks. He's erratic with the ball. He's not accurate enough. He's got the ceiling is through the roof with this kid in athletics. How many times have we heard that from the number 3 overall fucking quarterback drafted in the NFL that never turned out to be shit? Odds are the dude's gonna blow because of all the circumstances around him, and he doesn't have all the tools to put it together, and they don't have the coaching staff to bring it out of him. So yeah, no shit. It's not surprising at all that Drake May is struggling, considering all those things that we mentioned. And it's everything in my power not to jump to the next segment and just bash them for the decisions that they've made up until now, like not trading out of the 3rd pick, but I will wait. I will wait. Anything deeper on the Van Pelt offense other than Drake May? We saw preseason game number 2, Big Black Hoyer, Jacoby Brissett threw a terrible interception into the end zone on their second drive. We're hearing from the joint practices, their offensive line is problem number 1. They didn't do a single goddamn thing to address it, which immediately is affecting the passing game, which is what everyone's paying attention to. But if this team can't run, you could have Brady back there, and it wouldn't make a difference because Alex Van Pelt, AVP, offensive head coach, his offense is predicated on being able to run the ball. Cleveland Browns, Nick Chubb. If you can't run the ball, then you can't pass the ball in AVP's offense, no matter who's throwing it.
Which makes you wonder, like, did they even talk in the offseason? Like, Gerard Mayo should have known the scheme. Elliott Wolf should have known the scheme. Why didn't you address the offensive line then? If you were bringing in Alex Van Pelt, who is a run-oriented offensive coordinator who likes to run a West Coast offense with the play actions and bootlegs and blah, 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 why didn't you address the fucking offensive line in the offseason bringing this guy in?
That's the main problem here, is that Alex Van Pelt's offense runs specific plays. They don't have the personnel to particularly run those plays. They have different offensive linemen that do different run styles and different protections. And it doesn't appear that he is willing to play an offense or could be too late to tailor the offense to his players' best skill sets that he has now instead of what he's most comfortable in playing. Like what you hear a lot on the podcast and them talking about is how the Patriots will run this gap or duo style offense where basically it's power gap running. You run behind Mike Onwenu to make it real simple. But instead, his offense is to run off tackle, which they don't have tackles. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they're running a zone. They're running a zone scheme now. So I've heard a couple different things. And look, last year the offensive line was in shambles at this point in the time of the year too, and it didn't look like it. But by midseason, certainly kind of towards the end of the season, they had straightened some shit out. It didn't look like it because Mac Jones was in such disarray and puddles that they couldn't do anything. but they had straightened out their protection towards the end. And I have faith in David Andrews. Mike Onwenu is the top paid, second highest paid guard if he's going to play guard, and fourth highest paid tackle. He has looked outstanding by all reports. Should be good. The City So kid, they said, has looked really good. And there's another 4th round pick. I forget his name.
Layden Robinson.
Robinson, thank you.
That they like said shit today. That kid was out there today. He didn't look very good.
Here's the smartest plan that I've heard. Okay, if So can be solid enough at left guard, you're stuck with Andrews. No one's talking about Strange. What's his? I mean, he's not that great to begin with, but he's another body.
Is he on the pup?
He's injured. He has I think he had a knee surgery.
I thought it was he had to wait 4 weeks.
Okay, so all right, forget him. Can we just kick Onwenu out to right tackle? Like, how many years are we going to fuck around with this? Can we kick him to right tackle, plug someone in at right guard, so we just have one turnstile position to worry about at left tackle, where Wallace or Chuk or Lowe or Anderson play all 4 of them every other play? I don't give a fuck. But can you narrow it down to one shitty position instead of 3 by one simple move, kicking Onwenu out to right tackle? That seems like we've been begging for that for 3 straight years, and they just paid the guy $20 million.
Yeah.
So what? I don't understand the apprehension to do that. There has to be a reason, right?
Or it makes too much sense.
Sense.
They don't want to be. They want to be the smart people in the room. They want to be like, look at Belichick would have done. Belichick would have done that move. We won't do that. We're gonna. Is it?
No, I know you have a thought, Bobby, but let me throw this out there and go ahead. Is it maybe an Andrews thing? Are they leaning on Andrews? He sets the protection. It's all about communication, having a window on his right side. Maybe there's something there where
like that's his binky kind of thing you're thinking.
If they make the interior as strong as it possibly can be. If So and Onwenu and Andrews are their best players and they stack them together, they think that they have a better opportunity to be a glue unit. And then, we all think that tackles are the most important positions in the offensive line because I think they are. But are they just outsmarting themselves, thinking make the interior as strong as it could possibly be? I don't know. That's my devil's advocate to that.
I think that might be what they're thinking is they know that these 3 positions are solid and then the other 2 are there. My only other suggestion would be take the 3rd round right tackle that you drafted and play him at right tackle. So then you still keep Onwenu there, put him at right tackle, and then you just really only have one position to figure out. And it can't be Vidarian Lowe. He can't play football. There has to be somebody better. He is bad. He's bad. He's not good. I don't know why he's there. Maybe these other guys maybe he's injured. And that's why he's not out. I don't know. They don't talk about it, but he's really bad.
Yeah, it's going to be left tackle is going to be a struggle all year long. We knew that. We've known that for years and years and years and years and years. What was 18 the first year with Brown when they won the Super Bowl? Yeah. And they never replaced. They drafted Isaiah Wynn, which never worked. And they never addressed it.
It was never a left tackle in college football.
Right. They've just never addressed it. So we'll get to that. Hindsight was always correct. Next segment. All right. I'll switch gears to something. Well, before I get to that, level of concern, 1 to 10, Christian Gonzalez, who was beat soundly in this game and with an underthrown ball from Pickett in the game against second preseason game here we're watching. The only time Christian Gonzalez was on screen, he was beat by 3 or 4 yards in a go pattern. All reports are he is inconsistent but consistently getting beat in one-on-ones. Are you concerned about Christian Gonzalez, who was supposed to be a steadfast in this defense? Raymond?
I'm concerned about the reports. I'll believe it when I see it in a game. I just find it curious that he was so good last year and like it's off now. So I'll wait until it's live bullets till the real concerns, but it's not what you want to hear.
Raymond. He doesn't have that dog, and I mean that's what I heard. You want someone like a Jack Jones who's angry and that is like you don't want to throw on me. I want to be that guy. Christian Gonzalez is not that guy coming from Oregon, coming off an injury from last season. I just think he's taking a step back. Hopefully this is just like a rehab stint where he's just like trying to get back on the field, trying to get to 100%. And then we'll see like the real Christian Gonzalez, the number 1 pick that we had from last year. But right now it's very worrisome. I think that if you don't have the edge guys, Jonathan Jones ain't that guy anymore. He's supposed to be your number 2 guy. Christian Gonzalez being the number 1. If he's not coming back at 100% and like shaky, this is going to be a rough stint for the secondary for the New England Patriots.
First, Christian Gonzalez stunk last preseason. He stunk the first game of the season, and then he had about a game and a half that was really, really good. Then he got hurt. He played 3.5 games last year. So his standing was overvalued to begin with from last season. That's the first thing. So he's probably getting propped up a little too high to begin with. Secondly, the number one place where you are going to see the loss of Bill Belichick, cornerback, specifically starting left cornerback. Belichick's scheme and understanding how to erase a number one target in an offense. Cannot say what you want about Belichick and his misgivings and the way he drove this franchise into the ground the last couple of years. All true. But as a defensive coach and a defensive mind and a football mind, that dude took away a number one target better than anybody in the history of the NFL, and you lost it. It's gone. Bye-bye. No longer there. So if you want to put Christian Gonzalez on an island, you put him on Revis Island, good luck. Because I'll tell you, Belichick would have a scheme with somebody else in a safety to help that kid out until he got the confidence or the skills to truly rely on him like he did on Stephon Gilmore. If they thought that they were going to be able to do that right from the jump this year, I think they're getting rudely awakened. And maybe that's why we're getting the reports that we're getting, because they're not giving this kid enough help to begin with. He's only played 3.5 games in the NFL.
Is that another question that you'd have? Is like, what kind of scheme is Mayo running on this defense?
I'll tell you what scheme they're running. They're running 50% fucking blitzes. That's what they're doing in the preseason. Yeah. Covington is running 50% blitzes in the preseason, which is unheard of. Nobody does that because it's the preseason.
Blitz.
What was the quote? He said, "We want to own them, or we want to dominate." That was their quote. We want to dominate.
Well, this is the only time you're gonna be able to dominate.
First or last, baby. First or last. Woo!
First of all, like, the strength on their team is probably their D-line, certainly their front seven. They got enough guys within there between Jennings, Keon White, who looked great tonight, Uche, a couple other guys. They can get to the quarterback. You don't need to blitz 50% of the time. That's the strength of your team.
Don't like a bitch. We want to dominate.
Your secondary is a master question mark, and you want to go put these guys one-on-one in the fucking secondary? Like, this is the whole thing. Next segment, it's the big hitter. These guys, I don't think these coaches have a clue, or they're certainly behind, or they're just learning on the job, and it's evident at this point.
Or their dicks shriveled up in their bodies. They don't know what the fuck they're doing right now. They're just scared shitless.
That too. Dick shriveled up in the bodies is probably a winner on the board there. Here's a couple good things, I guess. Keon White, as I just mentioned, has looked good all preseason. Rookie wide receivers, for as much as they can with the bad offensive line and quarterback play, seem to be delivering, or at times shining, dare I say. Polk, Baker, and now Demario Douglas. Pop Douglas has got that red shirt off. The last report I heard was he's the only consistent receiver who can get open. But it seems like you got a trio of young, speedy, good wide receivers in Polk, Baker, and Douglas that you can build around. So that's a good sign. That's a building block.
Where's the other building block of getting rid of Juju Smith-Schuster? Bobby, I'm surprised you haven't even mentioned this. The guy that you fucking hated for the last season, you didn't even mention his name.
So old, dude. That feels like that was like 8 years ago. But yeah,
I know.
no,
we haven't even got to
great.
We'll move to the Judon trade here, but transactions. Was it a day or 2 days after preseason game they cut Juju? A day?
It was like the day after. It was the day after. They're like,
yeah,
see you fucking later. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a year too late, but good. Juju's gone. Eat that money.
$9 million, I believe it. 9.25.
He's going to take his $9 million and flash his dick out on social media all year.
Good for him.
Yep. He's gone. That was right. All right, let's move. Ray, we heard your opinion on Judon. Too little, too late. I'm going to have to ask you to explain that a little bit more after Bobby's thought on the Judon trade. Third-round pick from Atlanta. There are rumors on the table, confirmed rumors, that the Chicago Bears were also offering a third-round pick. Not sure what the stipulations were around that. My questions are: looks like he's going to play under his current contract with Atlanta. There's no signing evident. So my question was going to be: let's see if he signs a deal or what it looks like. But third-round pick for Matt Judon in your position is a pretty good return. What's your overall take on the whole thing?
We all know that I wanted a season, and he's their best defensive player. So it sucks to lose him a little bit, but it kind of had to happen. You would have to question how he would be in the locker room. He's a big personality. He would be the leader of the defense. So if you're really going to kind of buy into this Gerard Mayo era, you kind of have to send this guy packing and give him some credibility that you can't make a show during practice. You can't call it out. And I think the Patriots were right not to pay him. They handed out all this other money, and then with Judon, there was a very specific reasons why they chose not to give him this money, and you can't keep around. It just had to happen.
I've bounced this back around and back and forth in my brain. On principle, on the surface, yep, makes sense. He didn't want to sign for what the Patriots wanted him to sign for. The only guy that really didn't come to the middle with them on the table, negotiating table, 3rd round pick, a very good return for what will probably be a middling team. Falcons should
make a top 100 pick.
Falcons should win that division. I mean, that's a very
weak division. The division.
It's a weak division.
Interesting if they denied a Chicago 3rd round pick over an Atlanta pick, in the why would they do that? We could get into that if you want to, but in a broader view, it's just another sign of the team wilting into fucking loser town. All right. If Matt Judon wanted 6 years and $13 million a year, sure, of course, yeah, bye. We can't do that for you. But you missed on Ridley, you missed on Ayuk, you've got $40 million in cap space. Could you just hand that dude a bag of fucking money this year to go out and get 13 sacks and give your team a little bit of momentum moving into next year? Is a 3rd round pick really going to break your franchise next year if you don't have an extra 3rd round pick from the Atlanta Falcons to spend on another fucking wide receiver when you need a left tackle? Is that really going to make or break your franchise? No. I get it. Asset value management, all of that things. I understand all of those things, and this is probably technically the right move, but on the surface of it, God damn it. Just give him $20 fucking million in a check right now. Let him go get 14 sacks, win you a game, and then say bye-bye next year, right?
Like, what's behind the scenes? That's what I wonder.
Fine with that, yeah, to let him play for the season on more money, yeah, 100%. It's not my money.
It would just be a move that would signal we're not completely punting on this season, which is every move that they've made up until now. They're completely punting on this season. No sense of urgency, no real solidified plan, it seems like. So it would have been, I just feel like it would have been a jolt, not only for the fans in the organization, but the players on the team to have Matthew Judon there with his money, going out there with his red sleeves, sacking the quarterback, bringing the energy, being the leader on the team. If that wasn't going to happen, maybe that was never going to happen. Maybe he was forcing his way out of town. If that's the case, then good on Elliott Wolf for getting a 3rd round pick, because no one ever thought that would happen. So, whatever. However way you want to look at it, you could spin it to a win, I guess. Brady, do you have a final thought?
No. Yeah, okay. I said whatever. That's just too late. I thought they should have done it in April.
Well, what's the difference though? What are you going to second?
You could have got no. You could have just got a pick this year. You could have used that 3rd round pick to address the line that you are.
Oh, I see. You think that they could have maybe? Yeah, I see. Maybe.
That's all.
All right. Headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you, Richard. After holding joint practices during the week with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Patriots play preseason game number 2 tonight at Gillette Stadium against those Eagles. It is 10-3 at halftime with Matt Jones, I almost said. Drake May scoring the only touchdown. Red Sox are teetering on the field, on the final wild card spot, and they are currently 2 games back. I know I drank too much tonight. And start weekend series in Baltimore against the Orioles starting today. They are losing 4-1 as we speak. The Celtics schedule has been released, and they hoist banner 18 on October 22nd when they take on the New York Knicks. Other notable games: Christmas Day against the Philadelphia 76ers, final rematch against the Dallas Mavericks January 25th in Dallas, and home February 6th. This has been Headlines with the obvious one. Back to you there, Richard.
Thank you. Way to push through. Can I just say that I'm going to be torn on another one of these after Drake May's performance here in the second preseason game? The hoity-toity Patriots fans and Drake May needs to start. He's the future. He looked fucking great. That's going to piss me off. But also, if he came out and looked horrible again, that would have made me sick. So I don't know which way to lean on this. I guess it's better if he looks good and we just deal with annoying fans, and eventually he is
better
good.
For sure.
Than him just sucking.
Playing against the 3rd string Eagles defense right now.
And he's cooking them, baby.
Because Vic Fangio's defense, he started all of his starters to start the game. He came and said he was going to. By the end of the second quarter, I don't know. We were on the show. I don't know exactly who was out there. Probably wasn't all first stringers, but He dropped the bucket into Baker's hands with a little experience. Baker's going to work that sideline a little better. That's a nice throw. He had a good couple throws. You look good. Let's just call for what it is. You look good. Thank you, Wayne. You look good. Handsome Wayne. Like Ray's mother.
Mother.
Only from behind there, Wayne. Only from behind.
It's a rookie mistake by Wayne. He'll get it.
All right, here's my favorite segment of the evening. Hindsight is I was always correct. I forgot the I in the email, but basically I was right on this right from the get-go. But really, my broader point on this, and Bobby will get this probably more than Ray, as two more heightened minds than the bottom of the totem pole of fucking dumb. When I see people in power, with true responsibility, with a lot of money, with a lot of consequences, make decisions so transparently fucking stupid as not getting a left tackle, as drafting the third quarterback off the board when you had trade opportunities, as understanding that you need to rebuild a football team from the inside out, from the line of scrimmage out, and instead you fall into the tropes of NFL loser franchises one after another with drafting your quarterback with your number 3 overall pick and then falling in love with your flashy wide receivers in your first draft ever. It's unsettling to me. It's unsettling that there are people in that position that potentially I have a better brain than. That's unsettling to me because I consider myself not a very fucking smart person. And for Elliott Wolf and this team to walk into this season with the plan that they walked into and the roster that they have, it's unsettling is the way that I would describe it. It makes me feel bad and nervous and like there's no hope basically for the future of certainly the Patriots, but maybe of anything like politicians in charge of the country. No faith in them, certainly, but even bigger companies, like I don't know. Maybe it's about getting older and like these people are starting to be younger than us, and it's like, have you not fucking learned that that's not the right thing to do? You dumb bitch! Like, are you going through a learning phase right now? Don't do that. Trade that pick, get your left tackle, and then get your quarterback. You asshole! What are you doing? What are you doing? How are they that dumb? How are they that dumb that they have not decided to stack this offensive line with bodies and talent and beef? And they went and drafted the kid who literally can't even move his feet correctly, was the number 1 scouting report out of fucking college. But he has a big arm. He can throw the ball really far. And all of his brothers beat the shit out of him playing basketball. So he must be a really good football player. Am I crazy? Or is that the stupidest thing you've ever heard?
I think you're missing the point here. Big Daddy Kraft wanted it, and he got it.
He needed someone to replace his binky at Tom Brady not being there
Big
anymore.
Daddy Kraft wanted a new toy.
Wanted a new son. He's like his 7th son now.
I can swing that one of two ways. Either when you have that much power and that much money and you're that old that fucks given is at a complete zero, and I can strive to that. That's a real nice place to be in. I wear Air Force Ones. I bang doctors 40 years younger than me. Get rub and tugs down in Jupiter, and no one gives a shit. I'm a part of P. Diddy's allegedly P. Diddy's movement. We don't have to get into that. Beep that out, Ray. Thanks. When you get to a point of no fucks given, maybe that's a good place to be in. But if it's like Jonathan Kraft pulling it, then it's even more unsettling. He's got even more power.
Well, that would be very.
That's what I'm wondering. Everyone's talking about, maybe Robert Kraft's losing it a little bit. What if this is all Jonathan Kraft running this shit? What if this is Jonathan Kraft's idea and he's the one behind all this? He's the blueprint runner right now.
It's like, have you ever read a book? Have you watched the NFL over the last 35 years?
And you said yes. I've done that.
This game plan, what you're doing right now, Patriots, has never worked. Has never worked. Hire some nerds to tell you that this shit has never worked. And on top of that, you did something that nobody else did, is you hired the usurper the year before he usurped, and you gave him a guaranteed contract. And wouldn't you know it, your literal quote from Robert Kraft, home run pick of a head coach to follow Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, was there for you, ready for the taking, but you fucked it up by busting early on stupid Gerard Mayo because you went through your fucking management program down the street at your shitty not shitty. I mean, they're billionaires, so I'm sure they run a great business. But he went through your management program for a year and a half. So Gerard Mayo's the guy, and now he's given head coaching titles to the offensive fucking coach. Jesus. Am I? What? Tell me if I'm straying off path here.
No, you're not.
At any
You're
point in time.
You're hitting it on 100%.
No, I think you're on path.
Could you have not signed a veteran quarterback? You had $100 and something million to spend in the cap, and consider that cash as well. Could you have not signed a veteran quarterback? Let's even shoot for the moon here. If you didn't want Kirk Cousins, which I would have taken at $118 million for 4 years, fuck it. Let's do it. What else do you have to lose? You literally have nothing else for this franchise. Bring in Kirk Cousins. He's getting you 10 wins. If you don't want that, bring in Baker Mayfield. He just proved that he can be a consistent starting NFL quarterback. Go get somebody. Or Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew. God damn, he brings sex appeal.
Not Minshew. Don't get Minshew. He's the bottom of the barrel. He's a bum.
They got the bottom of the barrel. They got Jacoby Brissett. They got the bottom of the barrel.
Give me Gardner Minshew. At least
shot higher than that.
Owners all day.
Then go give the money to a number 1 wide receiver. Trade your number 3 overall pick. Draft your left tackle of the future. They had 2. Potentially 3, depending on who you talk to and draft experts. Bobby Bukaki, our college football expert, could tell us the left tackle scouting reports on those guys. The Notre Dame guy, the Penn State guy, and there was another one that went high in the draft. Franchise left tackles, all of them considered franchise left tackles. I get there's no guarantee in that, but the odds of that guy hitting over the quarterback hitting are higher, much higher. Draft your left tackle. Wait for a quarterback late in the first round, which you had another pick or could have gotten one. If he's not there, then get your stud wide receiver there and just hold your fucking water on the quarterback position. Don't be another dumb franchise and chase for the quarterback position. We understand it's important, but it doesn't mean shit if the kid's head's full of rocks and you can't block.
Aladdin brings up a good point, though. Vikings are looking for a quarterback. Maybe we should get rid of Baker Mayfield to the Minnesota Vikings.
We don't have Baker Mayfield.
I mean, Bailey Zappi. I'm sorry.
Bailey Zappi.
To the Vikings. Sorry.
You can send Bailey Zappi.
Our 7th round pick is going to help us a lot this year.
I'm just saying. I mean, he's on the field all the time now. He's probably going to get snaps in the second half because it's just what they're doing.
If I'm going to trade Bailey Zappi somewhere, I'm going to trade him to the CFL, the Montreal Alouettes, for some poutine, and I'm going to sit there and get a lap dance and eat my curds and French fries.
I don't like poutine.
For a fat guy, you have some odd choices of food that you like and don't like.
Thank you.
Anyway, so that's been my whole rant in my head today. Is I at least was begging. I think you guys were floating back and forth. I was begging for him to trade out of that pick. Begging. Yes. Now, look, I mean, Penix going 8. No one saw that coming. The quarterbacks, everyone went crazy on quarterbacks, and everyone fucked up, if you ask me. They all went early, so you wouldn't have had an opportunity to draft one of those top guys late in the first. But my guy, Spencer Rattler's apparently blowing it up down there in New Orleans. So you can go find a guy somewhere, but nothing's going to matter if you don't have a team around him, is my point. If you go back a little further, we just touched on this a little bit in the previous segment. Is Gerard Mayo the worst offense that this Kraft organization has made to this point?
If what you're saying is appointing Gerard Mayo, is it the worst thing that the Krafts have done since they've owned the team? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe not own the team, but
since getting rid of Bill?
Yeah, within the near future of this turn of let's say post Brady, because down here, spoiler alert, letting Brady walk out the door, removing the franchise tag, that was the worst draft ever made, by hands down. Second to that, is it handing the keys to Gerard Mayo? Yes. Is that the worst?
Absolutely.
Or you can go on my email if you want. I have the second option here, which is if you're going to give Mayo the keys, then not bringing in an offensive brain trust of modern day NFL would be the rival to that decision.
No, I think it's Gerard Mayo. Just giving him no experience whatsoever. Former linebacker. Yeah, he went to what was the company that he worked under or interned under before getting the job?
Some of the
whatever. He has no experience. Yeah, this was like a project in the making. It was supposed to be 2-3 years until Belichick got his career's win record, and then it was supposed to be Gerard Mayo's time. He was just basically thrown right into the mix right away, and he has no experience in all that shit. So basically, I think this is like the second biggest mistake that Kraft has ever made.
Gerard Mayo is one of those guys that LinkedIn profile just says leader of men with no tangible skills or anything, any actual experience in it. That's what it is. You can't put somebody whose skill is leadership, which it probably is his skill. He probably can get people to follow him. But you can't put him in charge of the biggest rebuild in franchise's history where he has we don't know if he actually can coach defense. We know he can't coach offense. He doesn't know anything about building a franchise from the bottom up, and he doesn't know anything about player development. And that's the man that's in charge of this. It was dumb.
Yep. Yep. Not great. Something you could probably the LinkedIn qualifications of leader of men. You can get away with that in corporate America. You can have an you can have an entire career scapegoating on that bullshit. Exactly. That's the beauty of the NFL.
He's a leader. He's a leader, McPhee.
The beauty of the NFL is, it exposes your warts real fast, real quick, and your leash is real short. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think we can continue to bash Mayo all year long, but maybe we can, because I think he's got at least 2 years in the hopper to see if he can get this thing straightened out, which is scary.
I don't know what it was, but I heard on it was like maybe Quick Slants on one of the NBC sports shows that they were floating out 0-16 after this practice. They were so miserable, and I was just like, God, that's probably the only thing that could get Mayo fired.
No, I don't think I think he has a job.
I think
here, no matter what.
you get canned. No wins.
0-16.
0-16 gets you fired immediately.
You do
Everybody's
not.
out.
No, who went?
The Browns have gone 0-16, and the Lions and Browns are the only two franchises I think that.
Yeah, but who was the Browns coach when they were 0-16? Wasn't it Hugh?
It was
Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackman.
Didn't he come back?
Not Jackman. That's fucking Wolverine, you idiot. Hugh Jackson.
Your mother gave me the Jackman last night.
Yeah,
all right.
He only has 2 wins. He only has 2 wins. He only had 2 wins in that 2-year span, and he's kept the job.
Well, there you go. Do you want to be the Browns?
We are going to be the Browns.
Feels like it. All right. There's a lot of Patriots
offensive staff
currently still winning 3-10 here in preseason game. We're in the second half where nothing really matters. So unless we see Joe Milton flick his dick for 95 yards touchdown, then
see, Bobby, I said that before the show started. That's what I want to see. There'll be excitement. If he goes 1 for 10, throwing the ball 90 yards down the field.
Here's the thing. Joe Milton, I love the Joe Milton draft, but only if you have the people in place that will actually understand if that thing works. Like if Mike Shanahan spitefully drafted Kirk Cousins when the owner made him draft RG3, and all along Mike Shanahan was like, this dude's going to be the fucking starting quarterback. Just wait. They don't have Mike Shanahan. They have Gerard Mayo, and who buddies up with Thunder on his fucking claps or whatever. So good luck, Joe Milton. Nothing's happening, dude. You could go out there and go 10 for 10, 117, 75 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is Drake May's show, buddy. So have a seat. Coach Vibes. Quick break.
Restless mind.
Sorry, I should have kept going.
You always cut that short.
I didn't see you were there. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
I didn't even get a koozie.
I was just vibing to that right there. A little Restless Minds. I like that. I like that too.
You gotta let that roll, baby. Buffalo 40s go. We got a final LP coming out in the next coming months.
Oh shit. Is Adam flying down to do a little guitar?
No,
solo?
this is five years in production.
Oh,
just from the basement. All right, moving on here. We're going to Red Sox, and the quote poster child of hate speech are still in the mix for MLB playoffs. A little update on your Boston Red Sox, your local 9. Here's what your trade deadline assets are providing for you now. James Paxton, old ass bitch. James 4.7 some ERA. James Paxton blew a calf or something the other night. He's gone. Luis Garcia, He's blown a couple games. Lucas Sims, he's got a couple blown games under his belt. You got swept in embarrassing fashion by the Astros over the last weekend. Your defense threw away several games in that stretch. Latest one last night or the night before. I'm sorry, I'm getting my days mixed up against the Rangers.
Last night.
Thank you. A lead in the 8th, a 3-run lead in the 9th, blown to the Texas Rangers. Somehow you were still just a couple games out of the wild card race. All of that being said, still the biggest news out of Red Sox Nation is, quote unquote, your big three were brought up. Not to the Red Sox, to the Woo Sox.
Ooh.
There, Keel and Anthony were all brought up to the Worcester Woo Sox over the last month. The future of your franchise. God, those kids better fucking produce, Raymond. Those kids better be goddamn
Double A? Is it double A?
That's triple.
triple.
I thought triple A was Pawtucket.
Oh,
They
God,
moved to
Bobby.
Worcester a couple years ago.
Really?
Just
Just like your family moves all the time, you know, when we take your land over, you just move.
Yeah,
move.
Trail of Tears.
Oh, okay. It was
fucking
God.
Worcester.
Mhm.
The Trail of Tears from Pawtucket to Worcester, the AAA baseball team.
Interesting.
No, to be fair,
Oh,
they all had they tore it up in AA. They are all
Which they should.
tracking to the MLB. But for Bobby and anybody else not paying close attention to the Red Sox, these guys are, 3 of their top prospects. None of them pitch, by the way, and they're big. Red Sox biggest problem is pitching and defense. Which is basically obviously everyone knows what wins championships. They're dead last in fielding percentage on the major league team, and they're losing pitchers left and right. Their best pitchers are young, and their arms are fading. So things are looking quite bleak for the major league team to make the playoffs this year. If you asked me, put odds on it, I would say they're going to probably miss it unless the fucking heroes, the three-peat heroes here come up in September in their call-ups and push the Red Sox into October. Wouldn't that be a fucking story? That's actually something I could root for, because this whole Heim Bloom, we're looking to the future. We've been looking for the future for 5 years. That thing's annoying, and the team has sucked for a long time. I haven't paid attention to them for a long time. But if these 3 kids come up and actually produce and actually make a difference on the major league team to push them to the playoffs through September call-ups, that's a story to me. That would actually be kind of cool. And then you have something to look forward to next year. That would be momentum. I doubt they call them up, because I think they are of
There it is.
I think they are of the mind of pussies, and I don't think that'll happen.
We got to hold off another year of what is it? The arbitration. We can't start that clock too soon, McPhee.
Wow, I didn't know Bobby knew arbitration. Jesus.
I'm not fucking stupid, Raymond. I know what I'm talking about. Just because I don't know about the Woo Sox, whatever.
Service time, baby. You got to keep it into account. Service time. Service time. All right, so there you go. There's your Red Sox minute. But of course, the biggest story from the last weekend was MLB All-Star Game MVP Jarren Duran received a 2-game suspension for dropping a gay slur on a fan in the stands.
Raymond, what did he say?
Oh,
yeah, Ray, what did he say?
He said the F word.
What's the F word? Fuck?
No, the 5-letter F word. That's
I see. You don't want to say it, though.
That's not good with the LGBTQ community.
Jarren Duran's response to a fan who said, "Get a tennis racket," after Jarren Duran went 6 straight at-bats with 6 straight strikeouts and a 4-game sweep against the Houston Astros after getting demolished. The fan, who probably paid $275 fucking dollars just to sit in that seat, another 150 to fucking eat and feed himself, said, "Why don't you get a tennis racket, Jarren Duran?" And he said, "Shut up, you fucking faggot." That's what he said, right? That's what he said.
That's what he said.
And then the Twitter bots and these fucking morons on the internet and behind their anonymous fucking screens, and some of them on our fucking website, said, "Oh, you should be able to say whatever you want. It's free speech. This is America. You're all just too fucking woke, you pussies." And to that I say, you're so goddamn stupid that I go all the way back to my opening take. I'm mad at myself, Bobby. I'm mad at myself for wasting the energy to get aggravated by these people and spend the time writing 700 words or whatever on our website in the response to that, of just how lazy and dumb and ignorant the entire response to it is. You cannot respond in that way, in that fashion, with that word in any sect of America or basically the world for the past, I don't know, 1,000 fucking years. And like, you want to talk wokeness? You want to talk fucking politics and freedom of speech? This isn't the time to do it. That's a stupid, moronic fucking thing to say in response. Period. Idiot. Take your fucking medicine, go home, come back, give your apology, move on. But no. He's the number one MLB jersey and number one jersey seller in the MLB because people are making a fucking statement over free speech. It's the stupidest thing I've seen in a very long time. Raymond?
I just wrote a blog. That's all.
I can't believe you just told him to get a tennis racket.
I mean,
that's such a weak. Why would that even set him off? That's like about as weak of a attack as you could get.
No shit.
Seriously.
I know. The response is out of fucking control. And I know what it is. But hold on. Let me give you just one of these stupid internet posts. Red Sox Nation. Ryan Strebel. Fuck you. If they trade Jaron Duran in the offseason over this, I don't care if it's the freaking Yanks. I don't care if it's the freaking Yanks. I'm buying his jersey. That's a statement jersey for free speech, and I love it. The hate speech talk is just a vehicle for people to use to shut off the freedom of speech right. You should be able to say whatever the hell you want. You get offended.
Hashtag America. Hashtag America.
Deal with it. Get unwoke. It's just the fucking laziest, dumbest fucking mentality I think you could possibly have. But we don't do politics on the show. And unfortunately, that is fucking politics. Rich Hill on the way. Breaking news. Anything else? Final thoughts, Raymond?
No.
Fucking pussy. This or that right after this.
I got illusions and illusions. Obsessed, I'm obsessed.
One of my wait do we have a Jared's on?
Jared's on, yeah.
Jared's a leader of men. I need some advice. One of my team members is asking to work from home because a stray cat rambled onto her property, and now she feels like she needs to take care of it tomorrow.
Fire her. Fire her. Fire her now. That's the consensus.
Did she just text you that?
Yeah.
And first of all, his name's Aladdin.
Well,
Aladdin, what's your thoughts?
I think you could give this you could give it the old courtesy ignore and let her make her own decision and then be mad about whatever one it is.
Yeah, you could have been like, hey, this was all up to you. I wanted you here. The cat sucks. Fuck the cat.
Yeah.
Should have been here. Consider this your warning. Oh,
Yeah.
Here we go.
I like that.
It does take balls.
You're
to
relying on me to read these, or
I like the balls they have to ask. Power move, says Jarrell.
yeah, I know. This is a vital part of the team too. So
I would probably.
You didn't mention that. So this person.
Firing is not a option.
So where would
It's
they
either,
be? Like,
it's either I extend myself to say, yeah, no problem, or I come up with an alternative solution.
like on the Celtics, like where would you rank her on the Celtics? Like where is she on the Celtics?
Who am I?
Well, you're obviously Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. You're the leader of the team.
Whoa. I mean, he's
the boss. Of course, he's the fucking boss. Why wouldn't you fucking tell him that?
All right. Well, I just need to. You need to set. We can't be great on a
Oh,
scale.
well, no. We're assuming that he's a player, okay? I don't know if he's that integral. I think he's more of a Missoula, who is also
You
the
don't have
boss.
a fucking understanding of
But he's
internal
also
fucking
the
what
boss.
he
He
is.
just called
But
you
he
a
doesn't
cunt.
actually
Bobby
do
calls
the
you a cunt.
fucking
Damn
thing,
fucking
does
off
he?
the
Does
off
he
the
do the
left.
thing?
You don't even
No,
have a
he's
goddamn idea of the fucking
fucking reports the
interworkings of my
numbers
position.
and
You
says,
son of
"Oh,
a bitch.
team,
You
I
son
think
of a
maybe we should
bitch.
do this," and then he probably caves into this Catwoman because he's a little bitch like Missoula.
If I'm Missoula, Bobby's Cornette. That's where Bobby's landing on this one. Just once in a while, we see him
Same
around.
amount of facial hair.
Yeah, I just got
And on his
45 million,
balls.
bitch.
You don't think Missoula's cashing in?
Oh, he's cashing in.
I'll probably cave. All right.
Well,
We moved on from the heavy stuff. We don't do politics on this show, so let's do some this or that
I
with
hope
Chief
this
Bob.
woman listens to the show. God damn, I hope she's watching.
Just struggling around through like YouTube and Facebook tonight and be like, oh my God, my boss is on.
That would be great.
What?
I've been very careful to distance myself from all things professional. Go ahead, Bobby.
Very good. M&Ms or Skittles?
M&M's.
I'm going
M&Ms
M&M's.
are shit. They're shit. It's a terrible chocolate. The Skittle. If you're gonna have a bad candy, I'm not gonna eat bad chocolate. When you can eat good chocolate, it would be Skittles.
She doesn't know I'm weak, Jared. I've been a Skittles guy for a very long time, but something happened in my body where it's turned on me. Every time I eat them, I get like physically ill.
Really?
So
Like
yeah,
what kind of ill? Like
just like lethargically nauseous.
really? I like
Yeah,
M&M's. You can put them on stuff. You can put them in cookies.
So
you can
for
put 'em in ice
medical
cream.
reasons, McPhee chooses M&Ms. Got
I'm
it.
gonna go. Yeah, it's a practical medical portion,
That's
but Ray's got
fair.
a good point. M&M has a
You can do a
multi-use.
variety. You can't do that with Skittles.
You can't make a cookie out of Skittles.
Nope.
Probably wouldn't come out well. Dry off in the shower or step out to dry off?
Step out.
I drip dry. I don't even towel.
Ugh. I
I
step
do-
out of the shower, get out,
Yeah.
dry it off in the same format every time.
And what like do people have towels directly next to their shower where they bring it into that humid, moist space and then like
You
dry
turn
off
the
and
fan
then
on so it takes the moisture out. You
I
have a
don't
fan.
understand that. No.
Well,
no,
how do you do that without stepping out of the shower? Everything's at how small is your bathroom? Everything's at your disposal.
No, I have to get out to get the towel.
Then you step out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what he said. He
Okay,
said
that's what I'm saying. How it seems very hard to not step out.
the only way you could do it is if you drape the towel over the shower like the
do
rod.
that.
That's the only way you can do it. And it makes no sense to me because the
And that's
towel
gonna
will
get
get
wet.
damp.
Yes.
Exactly. Stupid.
You step out, and I do a quasi air dry. I pat down the heavy stuff and then kind of let the rest of it fall off.
Yeah, like stroke. the
I make
bottom.
sure to really give a strong pat on the undercarriage areas to avoid swamp ass, especially in the summer.
Nobody likes swamp ass.
No, it's bad. It's brutal.
Mhm.
Colored pencils or crayons?
I assume this is for Raven.
Colored pencils, of course.
Crayons.
colored
is the answer.
pencils.
Coloring with crayons is still fun.
Wait, well, the framework of this question needs to be precise. Is this for fun or is this for legal documents? Because Ray generally goes crayons when he needs to sign his name, and then for fucking coloring books, he likes coloring pencils.
I was just assuming that Raymond couldn't read or write, so that's
He
I
can't.
color,
That's why he
you
uses
asshole.
crayons. He just does a
Dumbass.
big fucking
Jesus.
swirly swirl.
crayons are still fun.
I'm going colored. No, in reality, as a one-time artist, I'm going colored pencils is the only way to go.
You're an artist?
I got some drawing. I got some things in the.
Oh, weren't you in the Deerfield Fair for drawing?
Hell yeah! I got some blue
Nice.
ribbons.
Good for you.
Weren't you
Claim
in
to be at my mother's all the time. They're on her wall. Why don't you
Yeah,
fucking look around?
the best work of art that he ever did? Again, we'll never
It's on your
make it
mother's
out of
back. It's
Moira
on your mother's back. Check her out.
Alley-oop.
All right then.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Crayons are
yeah,
for simple-minded and
yeah,
pencils
yeah,
are for the
We've got,
once
a
a day.
fourth part. Hold on, Bobby. Can you bring that up, Bobby? Because we've apparently got a fourth member of the show today. Jarrell, what are you off tomorrow, Jared? Crayons are for the simple-minded, and pencils are for the people who think they are artists. Yeah, basically.
I don't disagree with that comment.
Nope.
Get stung by a bee once a day or get a paper cut once a day.
Ooh, B.
Stung by B.
B.
Those paper cuts.
I'm
would-
surprised. I would take a bee sting. I eat bee stings. They don't even bother me.
Where is the paper? I eat bee sting.
They don't. I got stung by a bee twice in 2 weeks. Fuck them.
Wow.
You know it's a rare occasion for as an adult getting stung by a bee. You know, except in
not
Hartford,
by
apparently
me.
you're just walking around, you get smashed.
That's a good
Yeah.
question. How deep is the paper cut?
And where is the paper cut?
Yeah, where?
On your hands and enough to equal annoyance to a bee sting.
Like Steve-O in between?
Yeah,
Or
just
like
like wherever.
I couldn't watch that on
You
Jackass.
need one a day, so you got to spread them out.
Like your mother?
nice. 1,000 dive 1,000 paper cuts. That's what they say. No one ever talks
I'll
about.
take the bee sting.
Bee sting.
Yeah, I mean bee stings suck because they linger, but
But it's just gonna be a bump. But the paper cut, you have to put a band-aid of some sort or something.
I just went to my neighbor's house. and he
Band-Aids
was
are for
spraying
sissies.
a big yellow jacket nest that was in some wood in his yard, and he's like, I was mowing the yard yesterday, and I got blasted by like fucking 17 yellow jackets. My leg swelled up like a watermelon,
Damn.
and that sucks. Like I don't want 17 yellow jacket stings, but one a day is not bad.
Now, one little bee, you're fine.
Yeah.
Here's quite a quandary here. Every time you have sex, you have to eat food as well, or pretend to be handicapped at work.
Oh,
I do both of those though. I mean,
What's your preference?
both. Because they
You have
don't
to
make you
choose.
do the hard stuff at work, and then the food is just delicious when you're just getting a little down below.
Yeah, I would assume that you were inferring their shame in the idea of eating while fucking, and
Not at all. No, this is all from Seinfeld, and there was shame not involved in either of these.
Oh Jesus!
These are both George Costanza things.
Wayne chimes in. Pretend to be handicapped at work. Imagine the parking spaces. Yeah, no, that's a good one. Pretend, says Jared, for the listeners. Yeah, I think we're all milking a level of mental ineptitude.
handicap. Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, I mean, if you give me
What kind of food we talking about? Is it going to be messy?
It's whatever you want. It's your
like
time,
chicken-
baby.
Little chips, little chicken tendies.
Whatever you want. It could be a meal, it could be an app, could be a dessert, could be a drink.
I think, I mean, other than like the profession of plumber, being a handicapped at work is probably going to hold you back.
Depends.
Other than
It doesn't have to
parking
be a
spot,
mental handicap. It could be a physical one. In
And
which
the
case,
extra room in the stall, like Jarrell just said. Jesus Christ, I didn't think of that.
well, that
Yeah.
doesn't stop anybody. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, the leg room in the stall. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
I'll share with you guys. I'll go truth rumor in this one time. I was doing some business in a stall. Now, this bathroom at my work, the only stall is a handicap stall, but it's the only one. There's 2 urinals in the stall, and there's one gentleman at work that is not in a wheelchair, but probably should be, and walks around with like massive with a cane, and walked in and like couldn't do the like bend over to see. You just saw the door shut, couldn't like bend over to see like if there was some shoes in there doing the business. So he kind of gave a half mumbled like, "Hey, anybody in there?" And I had headphones in because I was listening to fucking whatever social media, taking a shit. And I didn't really hear him, but then I took it out just in time to hear him. I fucking hate people. and then
You laugh.
and then he left. And I felt bad, but also, whatever.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
I'm gonna go eat and bang.
Nice.
yeah, I think it sounds fun.
Yeah.
We should all try and incorporate that.
Yeah, maybe you can do like protein shake with a long straw.
Oh, there you go.
Your mother gets my long straw.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Your mother gets my protein shake would have been better there. So
Yeah, he fucked that.
That
up.
would have been, and then you really could have go either way with it. But
yeah,
yeah,
it's a win-win.
So can your
Yeah,
mother.
fair enough.
Anyways, go ahead.
Cheese and cracker platter or a fruit platter.
Cheese and cracker.
Cheese and cracker.
What are we
I think
doing?
it's a layup. Yeah, cheese and cracker. Even if it's a simple one, a
What kind
simple
of cheese,
cheese and
though?
cracker platter. Well,
Race
whatever
like-
you want. That's what I'm saying. A simple, just sharp
but
cheddar
wait.
is
Pepper
fine.
Jack. Pepper Jack is the answer.
Whatever it is.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what is it? This is the bonus question. Favorite cheese
For a cracker.
or a cracker? You've got degrees of cheese.
I think Pepper Jack is the best cheese.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably like a sharp aged cheddar, something like that for.
You know what I've
for a
really
cheesy
been digging
cracker.
lately is a light thin Munster.
Really?
Mm,
Interesting.
yeah.
What kind of cracker are you using with that?
Definitely not a fucking Triscuit. But usually, you know, my wife, some type of whole wheat fucking.
Like a wheat thin, but not a wheat thin, like a fucking really good organic wheat thin.
Yeah. It's like a bark
Gotcha.
thing.
Gotcha.
That and also like a brie, just like a good brie.
That's good with bread. That's really
Yeah.
good with bread. Yeah, that's a good bread.
Yeah.
Fucking thing.
Yeah.
Be a wizard or a knight?
Wizard.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're really fucking
Knight.
struggling tonight there, Vine. Jesus
Knight
Christ.
is the answer. The answer is knight. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking
Wizards
take my clothes
are
and just
nerd.
fucking
Basically,
boom.
from the guy that hates nerds, Rich is like, I'm gonna be a nerd. I'm gonna sit there. I want to be. Sign me up to be a nerd. No, I'll be the knight, and I'm gonna dash in with my horse and my full suit of armor and stab you.
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
fucking put a spell on you and then fuck with my wizard
You
hat.
won't even know I'm
my
coming
cloak,
because you're too
and you're fucking dead.
too busy looking up potions and reading about spells. You won't see the knight at your door.
Take your mortal asshole and get pegged by your knight buddies and fuck off, okay? Because the wizard lives for hundreds of years. He's just as badass as the knight in swordsmanship because he's got hundreds of years to train, and he's also got wizardry to bounce around. And you know when I wanted to be a knight? When I was 12. Then I grew up. Grow up, Bobby. Got to be a wizard. Gandalf, you shall not pass.
You shall not pass.
Wayne, as a wizard, would turn your horse into a cock, and then I don't know what he'd do with that horse cock, but
No, but Bobby would just be riding his cock.
I'd still
you'd
keep
be
riding
riding
it
the
right
cock.
up to
There
do
you
what I
go.
was gonna do.
I get it. I get the joke. I get
Get
the
it?
joke.
Bobby would ride a cock.
Biden riding the
Speaking
cock.
of riding, have to drive into work and have 5 beers, or drive into work and drop acid.
So do what I
every day.
normally do, or drop acid. No.
He's kidding. He's kidding.
Every day.
Every day. I'd go with the acid. I don't want to feel bloated at the beginning of work. Fuck that.
No, and it wears off. You'd have a hangover halfway through the
Yeah.
day.
And you
Acid.
And
just
at least
angry.
the acid, I think it would get some creative thoughts going.
Yeah, if your first trip brought out something good, then you'd have some leeway, and then like the next 9 would be pretty atrocious. But as long as your first
But they think you're a genius.
And then
because
I'm
the
gonna
first
not
one
want
was
it.
like,
If
oh,
I have the
fuck,
beer
yeah.
before work, I'm not gonna want it after. So what's going on there?
Exactly. Yeah, but if your first one's like, I think we should replace all these monkeys with a bunch of chimpanzees, and you're serious, then they're gonna.
They're gonna be like, oh wow, this guy's fucking a genius. So what do
What's
we
wrong
think of
with
this?
guy? Yeah. Or maybe they start thinking you're talking in metaphors, and you replace everybody with AI robots. I'm gonna go acid.
Yeah. Acid.
Acid's the answer. Yeah. Constantly be stalked by drones trying to drop shit on you, or be stalked by a midget with bad sexual intentions.
Male or female midget you were speaking of.
Shouldn't matter, Ray.
Yeah. Come on. Be open minded.
Yeah, come on, Ray.
All right, fuck it. The midget.
It's I
Or
get it.
little
It makes,
person. Little person.
well, it's an important question for Ray because he's got to look him in the eyes. But
Fuck you on fucking average height, you son of a bitch. Goddamn average.
for the rest of us, just keep looking straight. You know. I'm gonna go little person here too. Drones.
I don't want
get the
shit
robots.
dropped on me.
So how are you guys going to deal if this midget catches up to you and tries to enact their bad sexual intentions on them?
Punt
It's like,
them.
it's like a little chimpanzee, chihuahua just humping your leg. You just fucking get out of here.
What if they have like a taser, just and then
It'll
have their
be annoying. It'll be annoying. Is there any possibility of befriending this person and turning them, or they're dead?
I think if you give them what they want, they'll probably like you.
Yeah, sure. All right. Well, get me on a good day of acid work and let's talk.
If they get you after you've dropped the acid on the way to work, you'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, we'll dance, baby.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah.
I got a good
that
friend that
makes
can look in the eye, tell you just what I'm looking for.
All right. Here's a good one for you. So a woman that works for you texts you and say they have a stray cat and ask if they can work from home. Do you let them work from home or tell them to get their ass in the office?
Get your ass in the fucking office. He's texting me. Done.
Done.
Is that it?
That's it. Whatever.
Yeah, good. We'll be right back with Simplest Minds of the Week.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
So cheap shot. All right, just one this week. Micah Parsons, Cowboys linebacker, declares he will take, quote, take a break from football after the 2027 season to prepare for the 2028 Olympics in Paris. After Micah Parsons apparently attended the games and was incredibly motivated and inspired, said, I need to find a way to get to the Olympics by 2028. What events do you all think I can do? I need ideas. That was the first thing I got, and then I dug a little bit into the a couple different articles. Wouldn't you know it? The Olympics are introducing football. Hey, Micah.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, Michael, but you play football.
You can play football. You
can do
fucking
it.
idiot.
Well,
Do you think? No, this was just in print, so it's hard to take like
him seriously, like if he was
and
being.
was he being facetious, or was he truly like, I want to be a track and field star, I want to be a sprinter, I want to be on the Olympic team, 4x4 100, or was he like tongue in cheek? Football's coming. They haven't decided if NFL players can play in the in Olympic football, which, by the way, Mahomes, Joe Burrow, a couple other guys are showing interest that they want to play.
Top 5 quarterbacks right there.
Or do you think Micah Parsons is just dumb?
An idiot, a
He wants
dumbass, a
to
simple-minded
be
dumbass.
Option two.
Option 2.
I'm gonna go with that too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that too. That's all we had today. Micah Parsons. The Cowboys are a mess. Jerry Jones refuses to sign his best players, and they're all going to hold out and they're going to suck again. So there you go. Now there's some more simple minds. Just we haven't done any Olympic talk. The Olympics have wrapped. Any final thoughts on that? I'll tell you mine before we close. Sunday, I guess it was really the only day that I truly watched Olympics front and back. Caught the women's soccer game in the morning. 1-0 win to get their first gold in 12 years. Suck it, Ray. I forget the goalie's name. Sorry. Incredible saves from the goalie.
What a fan you are.
Yeah. Offsides called back on Brazil within the first couple of minutes. So USA wins gold in women's soccer, and then they followed that up with men's basketball. And I haven't watched a bunch of sports lately. This is the first time I really glued in some sports, watching that gold medal game with the USA basketball against France. Watching Steph Curry in the final 2 minutes, 90 seconds of that game, walk the ball down the court. Everybody knew what he was going to do. Pick and roll, three-pointer, 4 times in a row to bury France and win the U.S. the gold. That is the pinnacle of kind of sports fandom to me. Like a guy showing up in his moment, dominating for the team that you're rooting for. It was pretty fucking cool. Even with Jason Tatum pouting on the bench, it was pretty cool to watch Steph Curry do that. Greatest shooter of all time.
Did he got MVP though?
I've heard that argument, and this is like a Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum argument. Probably more impactful in Steph Curry, where Jaylen Brown is more impactful in the NBA Finals, but LeBron James was the backbone of that team the entire run. I mean, he was as dominant as you possibly could be.
He stepped up.
If Steph Curry did not make that first three-pointer in those last 2 minutes, it would have been the LeBron James show winning the game. So No, yeah, it was LeBron's team. It was
Yeah.
LeBron's team.
This was the biggest thing from the Olympics.
The
The breakdancing girl from Australia who didn't know how to fucking dance whatsoever has been like saying the worst dancer of all time, and now is getting like all these people like sponsorships and shit like that. Raygun, thank you, Wayne. Raygun is her name. Fucking A. Like that was bad to watch, but like good bad to watch because like how the hell did she get in there?
some of those highlights from the breaking, they just call it breaking because
Oh, sorry, bro. Not breakdancing. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Just break.
Some of those highlights, and like this is where like I've ranted on social media this evening, but where some of those good things come into play, the comments on that, like I just showed this to my 6-year-old. She's really excited for 2028. Like,
Yeah, I saw one woman like everyone says they can do this, but I actually can do this, and like it was like mirrored, like spot on, like the girl was doing the same thing.
yeah, that was pretty fucking unbelievable how stupid that whole thing was. Parsons should move there and sign up for that. Yeah, we should all move there and sign up for that
because we can do it.
We could.
Free trip, free hotel, free food.
What if we started a breaking gang and we all just went
like with the outsiders, like
officially signed up for the Olympics and wore a bunch of cool shit, bunch of cool fucking breakdance gear.
We need a cool name.
Just started flopping around our backs
with a bunch of ill gear. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah, we do need a cool name.
Bobby's mom gave me STDs.
Hey, that'll stick. That'll play.
BMG STDs. This has been Semi Sports Show, Friday Rewind, August 16th, live Thursday night, August 15th. Thanks for joining us, boys, in the comment section, and everybody else watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.